damn phones. Babylons can't crack the code.
Alright, this is B-MoneyTrading. Doing a quick Q&A. This comes from Robinhood stock trading group on Facebook. And this person asks, I started 2 weeks ago, put $2K to see how it is. I want to transfer more money so I can do pattern trade. Talking about pattern day trading, getting around the PDT rule. But I'm very scared now. I need advice. Should I wait until the stock market gets better? Now, it shows that her all-time is a loss of negative 355 cents, down 15.3%. And that would leave her count at $1,698 and some change. Now, with that said, if you're on here asking, my hat's off to you for being brave enough to ask, but if you're on here asking, then that's a no. You shouldn't be up on a group asking about financial advice. There's no telling your financial situation, what you can afford to lose, your trading history. If you're not confident enough to do it, then and you're sitting on here asking for advice, which you can see well, you can't see it, but I can see it. There's 113 comments. Let's go through some of these comments. I would go and buy stocks that are on sell blue chips. I would buy a cat. They're on sell right now. M3 is 2. Don't worry about the red. If this dude don't even know how to freaking type. Moving on. This person had a good response. Paper trade first. Bingo. If you're not confident, then paper trade. Once you get your confidence, then you can start looking at slowly adding to the count. We'll just go on. Another guy says, be patient, don't panic. That's a good response. This other guy, what are you holding currently? It really doesn't matter. Whatever it is, she keeps losing money. I mean, that seems a bit harsh, but let's just be honest. Another person says, depends what you have. If it's somewhat decent, just wait. Could be a month to 4 months. I'm assuming because she is down, but doesn't say that she's holding anything or not right now. So that could be where she's at right now. Total losses. Who knows? Moving on. You should wait until your skills get better. Always money to be made in the market somewhere. And I'd agree that is so true. And always money to be lost too. Keep it small until you can do this without questioning yourself. Bingo, there you go. Exactly how I feel. I'm by no means a master trader, but from my experience, which would be about 2.5, 3 years now of trading, that keep it small until only put in what you're willing to risk losing. Not to mean you will, but better be safe than sorry. This other guy says, go all in on TQQ. Alright, so let's take a look at that then. TQQ. Pull up my count. Blinders. Here we are. It's bright. So we got TQQ. We can see here I have an average of cost of 56.26. So let's do the math. You put in 25K. Divide that by 56.26. That's 444 shares. So basically, for every penny it moves, if I'm doing it right, that I believe would be anyhow, we'll just move on with that. 444 at 56.26. It's 25K. Now it's going right now. for do 444 times $54 even. That's 23,976. You subtract that from 25,000. It's $1,024. Now, I know she's talking about PDT rule, but that just, even if you put in the 25K, that just puts you above the PDT rule. So really, you're gonna need more money than that. All right. And even that just being at 25K, and you can see today, I was actually up at the start. And someone that's inexperienced, they're either going to panic and sell right away as soon as they see it dips down, or they're going to hold. And if she was to hold to this point right now, which she'd actually be over down $1,024, you think someone that's new to trading seriously is going to have that mentality and emotional stability to handle that kind of a loss of $1,000.24? Now, yeah, they can handle a win like that, but think about losing that much, especially being new starting off. Like I said, like these other people had said, paper trade. Start off small, wait until you get more experience. That would be my suggestion. I wouldn't go all in on TQQ. Fucking horrible advice. Horrible advice. Let's see if we can see any more comments. Let's load up some more. Here we go. Right now, it's a discount market. I would agree. I would concur. Yeah, things are cheap, but say you put that 25K in, it'd really be more than that, because you gotta stay above. If you're gonna be hopping in and out multiple times, and so truth be told, it wouldn't be but a short period of time, if a day, before she was back under the 25K, dumping in more money. Yeah, this just lets you know, like, the stuff that you post up in question on whatever trading group you're in, especially on a Facebook trading group, that take the advice with a grain of salt. Unless you know someone that you trust that's been in the market for a while, I would suggest just taking it easy. Don't be in a hurry to lose money. That'd be my suggestion. Practice small account, make a little, lose a little, get your confidence up, get your skill and experience level back up. And once you can prove to yourself that you can be consistently profitable, then I would look at now. If you're doing something along the terms of what I'm doing, as far as like a short-term investment, worst case scenario, like a midterm link investment, then yeah, that might be a possibility. But even then, you still need to know what to invest in, how to diversify your portfolio, and know what it is that you're risking, and how the market moves. Yeah, like today has just been a red day, and you can look on Facebook and all these other trading groups, and people will tell you it's been what's today's Wednesday, a bloody Wednesday. This guy says I would get ready by putting in money and buying some on dips. Dude, come on now. It's easy to say when it's not your money. Go for it. I don't know what that guy's smoking. It must be good. Alright. If you wait, you will miss some opportunities. Then again, you may miss some losses too. Very true, very true. You need to have good psychology. Concur. Wait, you came in at a very bad time. I don't think it matters what time you come in. If you don't know what you're doing, you just don't know what you're doing, you know. Whether you come in at market open or market close or midday, if you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. So it seems like that's the current theme right now. A lot of stocks are on sale. This person's being straightforward. It takes months and years to learn. Start small, aim small, and miss small. Always buy on dips and never chase. You know, even buying on dips can be very, very tricky. You know, you hear a lot of conflicting advice. The trend is your friend. Don't buy on dips. Buy on dips. You know, and truth be told, I think a lot of it just comes from screen time and experience and knowing risk management. I said in an earlier, I don't know if I posted it or not, but a video I was doing prior to this that focus on not losing money, and your chances of making money become a lot greater. This guy says, practice only buying couple shares, if not one at a time. Point is practice. Another person says, paper trade is the best advice I can give you. Now, paper trading, yeah, that's the advice I would give too. And I'd also give advice to trade with what you're comfortable losing. Like I was saying earlier, you know, being down $1,024, if you're comfortable trading with that kind of fluctuation in your account, which I seriously doubt starting off you would be, but you know, the thing with, and I say that because paper trading, it gives you a chance to understand how the market moves, the games people play, especially if you're doing day trading, trading these penny stocks, and you think you come in with 25,000-30,000 and you're gonna move the market. Shit, you're in for something else, you know. There's always somebody with a lot more money that can really you know, put hidden orders out and manipulate. And that's the thing that's tough with going with day trading and reading level 2. You know, a lot of people do the patterns, and based on this pattern, every time I trade it, I get X amount percent that I make money, X amount percent that I don't. But more often than not, I do. So I'm gonna stick to this pattern, and when I see it, I'll trade it. You know, and that may work for some people. I can't say that it's really worked for me, but then again, I haven't really stuck to just one pattern in my trading career, and so I've never, because it's just so easy for people to put out these big orders to drive the price down, and you see that their big order, as soon as it starts getting filled, their order goes away, you know, and you wonder, like, okay, you look at the time of sells, but on the time of sells, it's not showing that the order was ever completely filled. It shows that a few got sold into. You know, if they put an order out for 25,000 shares, you know, or even 5,000 shares on a small float stock, and it shows that 1,000 shares went through, and now the order's gone. Well, then it lets you know, like, somebody's trying to drive the price back down so they can either load up on it or they're shorting it, and either way, so basically it's like a game, you know. It's like playing a video game, just a lot more higher stakes, and as simple as you think it would be, it's either gonna go up or down. There's a lot more complexity in the market than the new person coming in would believe. And so, like a lot of people are saying, paper trade, which, yeah, paper trade. And once you kind of get to understand the market, then start off small, and to where you can get a feel for how your emotions cloud your judgment. Um, I've done a lot of studying on the psychology behind trading and how people think whenever money comes into play, and the rational thinking a lot of times goes out the window. And then afterwards, once they sell, then they're like, man, why did I sell? It nothing had changed, it didn't break my game plan, my trading plan on this trade, but yeah, I sold. It never reached my stop loss, or it reaches their mental stop loss, and they continue to hold and pray that it comes back up, and then they take a big hit, and they're like, well, why didn't I sell sooner? Why did I keep holding? What was I thinking? Or they're up quite a bit and greed kicks in, and then instead of selling and taking the profit, they keep holding, and then next thing you know, it turns around on them and has a massive sell-off, and they end up taking a small loss on it, hopefully, or a break even. And they're like, well, next time, when I trade and I'm up X amount, I'm gonna sell it. So then they do that, right? They make some money, and then the next time after that, they're up X amount of money, and they're like, well, last time I sold, yeah, I made profit, but man, it kept going, another $1 or $2, I could have made so much more money, so I think I'm going to stick it out on this one, and that's really the psychology. That's just where it all starts, is these mental games that you play with yourself, with greed, fear, anxiety. Logical thinking and rationality seem to kind of get mixed up in the state of emotions whenever money comes into play, and at the end of the day, your gains or losses determine if you're going to be successful over the course of time or not. And so but you won't know that until looking back. Hindsight's always 20/20. I can't say how many times I end up selling and then it turns around and makes a run that if I would have held on, or even just sold half and held the other half, that I would have made a killing. And then I sit there afterwards kicking myself in my butt saying, why did I sell? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? And that's why people tell you it's about having a trading plan, a strategy, and knowing when to cut your losses, knowing when to take profit, and all these things, as simple as they sound, you'll find are a lot more complex, or a lot more stressful and tough to stick to and to stand by on a consistent basis, And so, anyhow, with that said, I think it's about time for me to wrap up this Q&A. It was supposed to be quick, so anyhow, thanks for tuning in to B-MoneyTrading, and I guess I'll do another post later on today, a quick update on my account, where I'm at. I continue to add a little to it and try to grow the account. Today it's showing that I'm up. Market open, but we've had such a massive sell-off that, and it continues to go, and people are like, well, why don't you, I might be up right now. So, and this is right here, the options. This, from a day-to-day standpoint, is what's causing such a big price fluctuation. Like, this was up, like, the TQQ call was like up $35 earlier today, and now it's down to 15. Home Depot, I think, got up to like $11, and then Ford, it got up to like 16, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but if you add it all together, and then the difference in these, which these have just been, I added Aurora Cannabis, it just became available on Robinhood. Only invested, sorry, I have no idea who that is. I only invested close to $100 in it, because it's new onto the market, onto the New York Stock Exchange. So I don't know how it's going to respond. I'm not willing to risk that much as well. Like I said, I don't want it making up really no more than 10% of my portfolio, and it's at 10.5, 10.5%, 10.50%. So anyhow, you can see I'm down already $2 on it, which not a big deal, but we'll see how it plays out. And then I ended up adding another share of Ford, another share of AMD, and I believe another share of CGC. And so oil, this is, it's starting to make a turnaround, but it just hasn't performed. And this is what I thought it'd do, but I thought it would already yesterday have continued to make the trend up. This is a horrible charting, but we can go, I can pull it up on Thinkorswim, but then we just be switching screens back and forth. This one I'd say is probably the most disappointing out of the stocks. You know, down $5, not bad, but you can see 36.60 is my average cost, and we're down close to $3, like $2, and I don't feel like doing the rest of the math, but anyhow, so we're down like close to $3. What would it be? 23 from 100, so 77, $2.77 we're down. And so hopefully that starts to make a turnaround as oil does as well. And then Ford, they got earnings at the end of market today, and they which I was expecting this for it to end up having a sell-off closer towards the end of the day. And then after earnings, this is where it gets tricky, because after earnings tomorrow, it's either going to open up a decent amount, which I would expect, or it's going to close, or it's going to open up very low. I'm thinking though that the probability is that it's going to open up higher. I plan on selling it here within the next few days after earnings, to see if it gains any momentum after earnings call and the conference call. Hopefully, I'm not so concerned about the earnings call as I am the conference call. Hopefully they're pointing the company in a good direction and it starts gaining momentum. You know, like I said, a lot of these stocks are just selling off today. TQQ, it opened up, was doing fairly decent, and as soon as it opened, just freaking tanked. I mean, look at this. Horrible. As my grandfather would say, oh, Eho, that's just terrible. That's just terrible. And it really is. That is horrible. But, you know, it's making up a fairly decent amount of my portfolio, I'm afraid to say. 24, almost a quarter of my portfolio. So yeah, I'm only down total returns $11. But like I said, it adds up between each stock. If you're, you know, $11 here, $20 here, $5 here, $2 here, it starts to add up, you know. And then over here on the options, so, you know, like I said, we've got a piece of a little bit of everything on here. It's not as diversified as I'd like to be. Carvana, it really did good opening up this morning. Got up to 42, and my average was 39.60, and so I was up a few bucks, and that's the whole deal with these you know, small share size, is if I can make, you know, 5, 10, 20 bucks here and there, then that's ideal, just to slowly continue to grow the portfolio. But with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So I will post up later tonight.